Assalamu alaikum dear faculty members. Today we are going to talk about how to set up a gradebook. In order to do so, we first have to go through the basics of how the grading system works for the online. Already you know about this, but let's revise it. You have to take total 6 quizzes, and out of 6 quizzes, 5 quizzes will be chosen, each of 12 marks, and which will give us total of 60 marks distribution. Secondly, you have to take two assignments, each of 10 marks, and which will make up 20 marks. And last one is the other assessments, and other assessments contain 20 marks, and this is where the teacher has his discretion, and he can choose out of these whatever types of assessment he or she wants to choose for. You can divide them. It's better, it's recommended or preferable that you divide 20 marks into further subdivisions like 10 marks or each. One could be for attendance, and one could be for a quiz or assignment or viva or presentation. So it's optional, it's up to your choice. So having said this, now let's move on to how to set up the gradebook. In order to do so, you first have to go and open the slate. If you open the slate, and then you have to choose one of your course. For each course you have to set up a gradebook separately, so keep this thing in mind. Now the first thing that you need to make sure is that all your assessment criterias, whether it is attendance, whether it is a quiz or anything else, they have been internally graded properly. I am sure that quizzes and assignments have been given proper gradings, like 12 marks for quizzes, 10 marks for the assignments, and so on. But just in case for the attendance, nobody would have given any importance to this one, or must have been ignored. So we are going to go into the settings of the attendance, and in here we are going to check the grade options, and in here we will see what is the maximum grade. So if it is 100 or it is 10, it doesn't matter, because eventually it won't matter, it won't affect the grade. However, what you have to see is that whether you have written proper grading passing criteria or not. Normally by default it would be like 1.00, but you can set it up to 75 or 70 or 80 as you like. So because we take normally 75% as the passing criteria for the attendance, so that is why I have taken 75 as well. This grading category, I will come back to it later on, so we will just leave it here. So we have nothing to do, save and return to course, and you do the same thing, check the grade points, maximum grade points, and also check the grading passing criteria for each of your other assessment criteria like quizzes and assignments. Now in order to set up the gradebook, you have to go into the settings of the course, and you have to choose gradebook setup over here. In the gradebook setup, you will see all the details of your quizzes, assignments, attendance, Zoom classes that you have been taking, all over here in one place. You can also see those sample quizzes, those assignments that you have deleted already, those attendances that you have deleted already. uh, they will be seen like this, deletion in progress. So it means that we don't have the authority here to completely permanently delete the things, but yes, we have the authority to not include them in the grading criteria. So it doesn't matter. So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to make some categories. So here at the bottom of this page you are going to see this add category button, and we are going to click it, and our first category is going to be attendance. You're not going to change the aggregation method, it will remain the same. In the show more column, again nothing to do. In the category column, however, in this maximum grade section, you are going to change it from 100 to 10, because only if you are going to include attendance as the grading criteria, then it should be of maximum 100 marks, sorry, 10 marks. So we have to write 10 over here. The minimum grade remains 0, and click on show more button, and in the grade to pass you have to write something, and the grading criteria for me was around 75, so I'm going to make it 7. So we're going to write 7 over here. The purpose of writing this grade to pass is this, that whatever the passing criteria you are going to write over here, any student who has less marks than this, his uh, points or his grades will be shown in red color. So you will be able to highlight that which student is has failed to pass one particular assessment criteria, as you can see it right from the gradebook. So you're going to save changes, continue, and you see here that the folder for attendance has been made, this category has been made. Now we are going to add the other categories. The other category would be quizzes. Now this is important. For quizzes, the aggregation method is going to change. It is going to be natural. One more thing is going to change, in especially in the quizzes and nowhere else. Here in this drop the lowest column, you are going to write 1 instead of 0, and this will make sure that out of your 6 quizzes, only 5 best quizzes are going to be included in the grading, and the lowest mark from any of the 6 quiz will automatically be excluded. So you have to write 1 in this quizzes category section only. Now in the category section, click show more, and in the show more you have to write down the grade to pass. The grade to pass would be 6 because we have taken 12 as the total marks of each quiz. So 6 will be the grading criteria, and you save changes. Similarly, you are going to add other categories, which is assignment and other assessments. So attendance and quizzes are already been made. We are going to make 2 other categories. Other one will be assignments. Again, you are going to change the aggregation criteria to natural, and in the category total you're going to click on show more, and you're going to write down the grade to pass. Each assignment is of 10 marks, so we're going to write down 5 here in the grade to pass. Save changes, continue, adding one last category, which is other assessments. So other assessments will also be aggregated according to the natural calculation, and again in the show more column of the category total section, we write the grading grade to pass, which is around 5, as it will become of 10 marks now, because we have already given 10 marks to attendance. So the remaining 10 marks will be given to the other section. So the grading criteria for this section would be 5. Save changes, continue, and there we have all these categories already made. What we are going to do is now move these relevant and appropriate assessments to those relevant and corresponding attendance sorry other categories that we have just made. So first of all, we are going to move attendance. We are just going to click this arrow button, and we are going to go down and find the attendance category. Here it is, and just beneath this there is a box. We are going to click this box, and this attendance will be automatically, it have moved. You see, the attendance category has moved under this attendance folder. So that is all. Now for the quizzes, we have to move all the quizzes. You can do them one by one by clicking at this arrow and taking them downwards. However, there is a simpler way to do that, an easy way, a shortcut, which means that you're going to check mark all the quizzes that you have taken or which you want to include. So I am going to include these first 3 quizzes, and I have to check mark these arrows, and then at the bottom of the page I'm going to choose quizzes. Once I do that, continue, all my relevant quizzes have been moved under this category of quizzes, as you can see. The same thing goes for the assignments. I have only one assignment right now and I'm going to move it manually. So I'm going to click on this arrow and I'm going to find my assignments page, and this is where I'm going to click, and my assignment will move under the category of assignments as well. So now you see my attendance has moved under the category of attendance. The quizzes have also moved under the category of quizzes, and so is the assignments. I have not taken any other assessments, so this will remain empty for now. And all this is trash. As you can see, this is deleted tabs, and I want to clean this up and I want to put them in another uh, category. So I'm going to add another category just for the clarity purposes. I'm going to name it deleted and just save changes. I'm going to continue, and then I'm going to select all these deleted or unwanted assessment criterias, and I'm going to choose this folder deleted over here, and then they will be moved towards that particular folder. Now you see my gradebook has been set up and it is quite better now. Under this course I have my attendance, and this attendance is being graded from 100 marks, but its points will be calculated in 10 points. Similarly, quizzes 12 marks of each quiz is making 24 for right now, but once it will be total 6 quizzes, it will make up around 72 marks, but because we are going to take only 5 quizzes, it will be 60 marks automatically. Then assignments we have here, it is of it has been set to 15 marks. Okay, this is strange. This is, I think I made this mistake while making the activity, and I can go and change it right away from my activities, uh, from my main activities option. For example, I'm going to find it out. Here it is. So this is my activity and I'm going to edit settings, and down in the grading section, here it is. In the grading criteria, I have to choose rescale existing cat grades, yes, and I'm going to choose 10 marks from here. After I do that, I make sure that the grade to pass is 5, and I save and return to course. Once I do that, I go back to my gradebook, and now you can see in my assignments section my activity has been graded according to the 10 points, and the total of assignments right now is 10. If I add another assignment, it will turn to 20 marks now, and my other assessment is right now 0 because I have not added any of them. That's it. This is for the second step, and we are going to move to the third stage in the next section, and that is we are going to move towards grade. Okay, the last stage is that we are going to move to the grader's report. From here, sorry, so we have to move to grader's report, and this report shows you the list of all your students, as you can see, and their grades in front of them. So you see this student Abdullah Qayyum has 93.18 percent attendance right now, and his attendance total would be 9.32. So this will be his attendance points. Similarly, this student has 63.64% attendance and his points will be around 6.36. Now the second category was quiz, and you see here that the quiz, in the first quiz he has scored only 5 marks, and this is showing in red, which means that he has not cleared the passing criteria, and the others have cleared the passing criteria, so they are not shown in red. The next two quizzes have not yet been taken, therefore they cannot be seen here, and that is the only reason why the quiz total is not being calculated over here. If you have any if you fill up these quizzes, just for example, if I override the automatic criteria by going back to the top and turn the editing on, you can manually override the grades, and you have to deal with it very carefully, because once you do that, it is no more automatic, and in order to make it automated, you have to um, uncheck the override button, which I will show you right now. So here, this quiz 2 and quiz 4, let me give some marks. So for example, in quiz 2 he gets 8 marks out of 12, and in quiz 3 um, he gets around let's say 11 marks. So once I have done changes, I'm going to go to the bottom of this page, and I'm going to save changes. Okay, so we see here that the boxes have been represented as yellow, because it means that we have overridden the automated way of grading, and this is really important because we have to be very careful, because once you have overridden the automated system, you have to make them again automatic in case if it is required, otherwise it will remain like this. So as you can see here that we have three quizzes here. In quiz 1 he got 5 marks, and in quiz 2 I have given him 8 marks, and in quiz 4 he has been given 11 marks. So it means that the total should be 11 and 8 18 is so in 19, 19 and 5 becomes 24, but actually his quiz grade is 19, which means that he has excluded the lowest grade, which is 5, and it has taken only the two grades which are highest. So 8 plus 11 becomes 19. So this is how the quiz are graded. So now I'm going to revert them back, and in order to revert the override, become make it normal back again, you have to click this edit grade button settings, which is above it, and here you have to uncheck this button overridden, like this. Once you do that, you save changes, you continue, and here you see the first one, sorry, the first quiz has been amended and it is not yellow anymore. I will do the same with the second quiz. I will click on the settings, I will uncheck this overridden button, and I will save changes, click continue, and now we are back to normal. So now the quizzes, only first quiz, because I have taken only one quiz right now for this particular class, and the second and third quiz will be carried out in the coming days, and then they will be calculated automatically. Okay, moving forward with, then we have assignments to only one assignment has been given yet now, and I have only graded two students yet, 2 or 3 4 5 students maybe, and they had their total grades have been calculated like this right in front of them. Similarly, all the other assessments will be calculated in this box, and then we have this last category which we made was deleted. So we are not going to include these grades, because we don't want to include these grades. What we are going to do is that we're going to go to the end of this grade book, and here we have the last column, which is the course total. So the course total, in the course total, what you are going to do is you're going to click this calculator next to it. Okay, once you do that, uh, here you have to write down a formula for this calculation. But before we do that, we have to give numbers to these categories first. For example, in the attendance category, you have to give a number to the category total option here. So I will give one number to category total. Then in the quizzes category, I have to give a number 2 to the category total, only category total. In every assessment criteria, you have to give a number to the category total only. This is important. Similarly, in the assignment section, you have to give a number which would be 3, and in the other assessments, you have to give the category total number. It would be like 4. It could be anything, but you can give it 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the last category, which is the deleted one, because we don't want it to want to include this one in our grading assessment, so we are not going to give it any number. In the bottom of the page, you are going to click this add id numbers. Once you do that, you can observe that numbers have been assigned in front of each category total. Now we are going to write our formula. First of all, we are going to delete this one and then write equal to, and then we are going to write as it is uh, category 1, because it's a very simple formula. You have to add all the grade points that the student has taken in each of the category, whether it is attendance, it is quiz, assignments, or other assessments. It's a very simple formula, so it's a simple addition. We are going to add 1 plus double bracket to start 2 and double square brackets close. So you are going to follow the same format. So plus double bracket 3 plus double bracket 4, and that's it. So we have added 1 for the attendance, 2 for the quiz, 3 for the assignments, and fourth one is for the other assessments, which will be of 10 marks, as we have given 10 marks for the attendance, which is number 1. Now you're going to save changes, and that's it. Your gradebook has been set up, alhamdulillah. Now just to make sure, let us recheck or double check it by calculating it manually. So the formula says that you are going to calculate the attendance total, which is 9.32 for this student, and you are going to add the quiz total for this student, which is here actually 0, because I have only taken one quiz and it has discarded that quiz as well. So Moodle, because we have given that formula that we have to select best 5 quizzes out of 6, for this reason, until unless I have 2 or 3 or 5 quizzes held over here, this quiz total is not going to be shown. So you don't have to worry about this. But right now, because it is 0, I'm not going to add this in the grand total. So first is 9.32 from the attendance. Then if I move forward, in the assignment section, I have given this student 8 marks for his assignments, and 9.32 plus 8, it gives around 17.32. And in other assessments, again, I have not conducted any quiz or assignment till now, and therefore it is also 0. So right now the grand total is around 17.32. This is the deleted category. This is not going to be included in the grand total, therefore doesn't matter if it is 73.53, it will not be added. So the course total is 17.32. So yes, that is correct, and it means that our formula is working. So every student's grand total has been calculated accordingly. So that is all for the gradebook setup. You can turn the editing off from here, and once you do that, you can be able to see uh, the students who have not passed this particular assessment, their grade is going to be shown in red color. As you can see, this 5 is not a passing criteria, so it is in red. Similarly, this 3, and then accordingly this 5, this 2, and so on. This is the importance of setting the passing criteria. Now, before we leave, there is one tiny thing that I need to mention, which is important. Not every time you have to come to this gradebook setup and put all your attendances or other assessment criteria in the relevant folders. This is a very tiresome work to do. You just have to do it once. As I have mentioned, it will be fine. But for the next assessments, for example, if you're going to conduct any other quiz which is not yet been graded, so what you're going to do is, for example, I'm going to add another quiz. Let me give it the name of quiz number, sorry, let me give it the name of quiz number 6 sample. And the rest of the thing you already know about it, but I'm just going directly into the grade section. So here in the grade category, what you have to do is, this time you have to select the relevant category. You are making quiz, so you select quizzes, and it will automatically be added into that category. It will be graded under that category, it will be calculated under that category, and you don't have to go every time to the grade book to set it up. Grade to pass will remain 6 because you have to make a quiz which is of 12 marks. That is what the guidelines say, and all the other settings will remain the same. So you just go to save and return to course, and here you can see that quiz number 6 sample has been added. You just click it. One more thing about the quiz, especially, you edit the quiz, and in editing the quiz you have to change this maximum grade from 10 to 12, and you have to save it. Once you do that, this grading has been completed. And let me quickly take you back to the gradebook. In the gradebook setup, you will see in the quizzes, this quiz number 6 sample has been added automatically, and its total marks is 12 and its weightage is going to be 20. And now the total marks for all my 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 quizzes is 48, which is okay, because I have to select only the best, and I have to exclude the one. So it is right now automatically calculated only 4 out of 5. So the total is 48. That's it. I hope this is quite useful for you, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you very much for your time.